You never expect to watch your own life unravel in real time. Thursday, 11:47 p.m., San Francisco. My Ring camera notification, motion detected at Las Vegas suite, our shared vacation property, where my fiancée Chloe's bachelorette party was happening. I opened my laptop and saw her with my best man, live, on camera. Subscribe now because what happened next morning changed everything. The timestamp read 11:49 p.m. Chloe, my fiancée of 3 years, in a $5,000 designer dress from Saks Fifth Avenue. Mark, my college roommate and supposed best man, in the suite I'd booked through Airbnb Luxe. The 4K Ring camera I'd installed for security was now broadcasting their betrayal in crystal clarity. I tapped record. The Ring cloud storage would save 30 days. I opened QuickTime for a local backup. My hands shook. Stanford-trained software engineer hands that could code complex algorithms but couldn't process this. They moved from the living room to the bedroom. The second camera triggered. Bedroom view. I watched for 17 minutes, recorded every second. The champagne bottle, Dom Perignon 2010, $350, knocked over. Her $15,000 engagement ring, the one I had financed through my tech startup's bonus, glinting in the Vegas lights. At 12:06 a.m., I opened our shared iCloud, found their text thread. 6 months since Mark helped plan the proposal at Napa Valley. Bachelor party in Miami next week, one text read. We'll tell him then. The him was me. My Apple Watch showed heart rate 142 BPM. Normal resting, 58. I closed the laptop. The screen went black. My reflection stared back, pale. 34 years old. Wedding in 19 days. $85,000 non-refundable deposit. Then my phone buzzed. Chloe's location. Leaving Vegas. Private jet. Landing at SFO at 5:30 a.m. She was coming home early. I didn't sleep. I logged into our joint accounts at First Republic Bank. The wedding fund, $125,000, down to $87,000. Transfers to Bellagio events I didn't recognize. $15,000 on August 12, $8,500 on August 19. Our credit card, Chase Sapphire Reserve, charges from exclusive Vegas companions, $2,500 twice last night. I pulled up the prenup we'd signed 3 weeks ago at her father's insistence. Her father, the real estate mogul from Bel Air. Clause 4.2, infidelity nullifies all financial agreements. My lawyer had insisted. I'd thought it paranoid. Now it was my nuclear option. 5:15 a.m. I called my lawyer, Robert Chen at Morrison & Forster. Voicemail. Robert, it's Alex. Emergency. Send the infidelity clause enforcement package now. Then I texted Mark. How was Miami? Immediate typing bubbles. Then stopping. Then wild man. Can't wait for your bachelor party. The hypocrisy burned. I screenshotted. Saved to the folder I'd created. Evidence. 5:28 a.m. Flight Aware showed her jet 2 minutes out. I made coffee. Black. My hands steady now. The rage had crystallized into something cold and sharp. The garage door opened. Her white Range Rover, the one I'd leased for her birthday, pulled in. She was home, and she had no idea I'd watched the whole show. Chloe entered, still in last night's dress, carrying her Louis Vuitton duffel. Babe, you're up early. She smelled of champagne and someone else's cologne. I sipped my coffee. How was Vegas? Amazing. The girls went crazy. She kissed my cheek, the same lips that had been on Mark hours before. The Bellagio suite looked nice, I said, watching her face. She froze. What? I watched the security footage. The 4K is really impressive. I opened my laptop. The paused video filled the screen. Her and Mark, mid-kiss, champagne bottle tipping. Her face drained of color. Alex, I can explain. Don't. I closed the laptop. The wedding's off. But the deposits? Irrelevant. Your father's prenup clause 4.2. You forfeit everything. I slid the printed clause across the kitchen island, the marble counter we'd chosen together. She stared at it. Then her expression changed, from panic to something else. Calculation. You recorded me without consent. Nevada's a two-party consent state. That's illegal. I'm in California, and Ring cameras have disclosure in the rental agreement you signed. I tapped the screen. Paragraph 12. Premises may be monitored. You initialed it. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, smiled, a cold, knowing smile. You think you've won, but Mark isn't who you think he is. What does that mean? Before she could answer, the doorbell rang. Not the soft chime, the urgent, repeated ringing of someone official. I checked the Ring app. 2 police cars, red and blue lights painting our Palo Alto driveway at 6:07 a.m. Chloe's smile widened. I think you should get that. I opened the door. 2 officers in San Mateo County Sheriff uniforms. Behind them, a man in a suit. Alexander Reed? Yes. The suited man held up a badge. FBI, Special Agent Marcus Thorne. We need to speak with your fiancée, Chloe Kensington. Chloe appeared behind me, calm, too calm. I'm here. Miss Kensington, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. The words hung in the morning air. What? My voice sounded distant. Agent Thorne continued. The Bellagio suite, the club bookings, the Bachelorette party, all fronts for a cryptocurrency money laundering operation. We've been investigating for 8 months. Chloe held out her wrists. I want my lawyer. As they cuffed her, she looked at me. Mark works for the FBI, Alex. The whole relationship, the proposal planning, all part of the sting. The ground shifted under me. What? Your best man is an undercover agent, has been since Miami. She was led to the patrol car. The car pulled away, leaving me standing in my driveway, in my sweatpants, holding my cold coffee. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Alex, it's Mark. We need to talk. The FBI needs your cooperation and your security footage. The line went dead. I looked at my laptop, the paused video of their affair. Had any of it been real, or all performance for cameras they knew were watching? And more importantly, had my entire 3-year relationship been an FBI investigation? Special Agent Marcus Thorne arrived in an unmarked sedan at 7:30 a.m. He looked like he hadn't slept in 48 hours. We sat in my kitchen, the same marble island where I'd confronted Chloe 2 hours earlier. Your fiancé's father, Robert Kensington, is under investigation for $200 million in real estate money laundering, Thorne began, placing a tablet between us. The Bellagio suite, the Bachelorette party, it was a front to move cryptocurrency from Russian oligarchs into U.S. properties. He swiped through surveillance photos, my startup's office building, my apartment, my parents' house in Saratoga. They've been monitoring you for 8 months, Alex. Your tech background made you the perfect unwitting mule. Mark, Agent Mark Reynolds, joined us via video call from FBI headquarters. I'm sorry, Alex. The Miami bachelor party was supposed to be the takedown, but Chloe got suspicious. Last night in Vegas was a contingency plan. The pieces clicked into place with cold, brutal logic. Chloe's sudden interest in my startup's blockchain technology 6 months ago,
her insistence I meet her father's investment bankers, the wedding planner who kept asking about our international guest list. They used our relationship to move money? My voice sounded detached, like I was asking about someone else's life. 7 transfers totaling $4.3 million through your company's payment processor, cleaned through the wedding expenses. He slid a document across the table, a cooperation agreement, witness protection, new identity, or face charges as a co-conspirator. Your choice, Mr. Reed. Help us take down one of the West Coast's biggest money laundering operations, or join them in prison. I looked at the paused laptop screen. Chloe and Mark's staged affair, the Dom Perignon bottle, the $15,000 ring. I had 24 hours to decide.
The FBI gave me temporary access to Chloe's encrypted devices, her MacBook Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPad, all protected with passwords I knew. Our anniversary, her mother's birthday, my Stanford graduation year. Her Notes app contained a detailed ledger, not in dollars, in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, columns of wallet addresses with timestamps matching our relationship milestones. Proposal weekend, 15 BTC transferred to Cayman Trust. That was the Napa Valley trip where I'd proposed. Wedding deposit, 85,000 ETH to Dubai account, the $85,000 non-refundable deposit. Bachelor party, 100 XMR to Swiss entity, Mark's supposed Miami trip. I cross-referenced with my company's QuickBooks. Every investment from her father's firm matched a cryptocurrency transaction 48 hours prior. My startup wasn't growing because of my brilliant coding. It was a washing machine for dirty money. Then I found the photo album, not of us, of properties. Bel Air mansions, Malibu beach houses, Manhattan penthouses, all purchased through shell companies in the last 3 years, all titled under variations of my name: Alexander Reed Holdings, A. Reed Trust, Reed Family LLC. I was the legal owner of $47 million in illicit real estate. Agent Thorne called as I discovered the last folder. "We have a problem, Alex. Robert Kensington knows you're cooperating. His lawyers just filed a lawsuit claiming you embezzled $5 million from her daughter's trust fund." The lawsuit documents arrived by email. Forged signatures, falsified bank statements, my fingerprint lifted from documents I'd never seen. Chloe's father wasn't just laundering money, he was framing me for it, and he had the resources to make it stick. My software engineer brain switched into survival mode. I built a blockchain analyzer in 3 hours, code that could trace cryptocurrency through mixers, tumblers, and offshore exchanges. The trail started with darknet drug sales, fentanyl from Chinese labs, Bitcoin payments to anonymous wallets, then through my company's payment gateway, disguised as SaaS subscriptions from fake companies. From there into Chloe's father's real estate purchases, then sold to anonymous LLCs, then mortgaged for clean cash at major US banks. The scale was staggering, $200 million over 5 years. My 3-year relationship with Chloe had laundered 15% of it. At 2 p.m., 2 men in suits appeared outside my building. Not FBI, private security with Kensington Realty badges. They photographed my windows, took notes, left when I called 911, but the message was clear. Agent Mark Reynolds arrived with a solution. "We can flip Chloe. She's facing 25 years. Her father's throwing her under the bus. She'll testify against him if we protect her." The irony burned. The woman who betrayed me now needed my cooperation to avoid prison, and I needed her testimony to prove I was a victim, not a conspirator. "You have until tonight," Mark said. "Then we take the deal to her lawyers. Either you both walk free with new identities, or you both go down." I looked at the code on my screen, the blockchain trail I'd uncovered. the evidence that could put away an entire criminal network, or the leverage to negotiate my freedom. The sun set over Silicon Valley. My former life, the startup, the wedding, the future, already felt like someone else's story. I made the call. The FBI safe house overlooked the Pacific Ocean. Chloe arrived in handcuffs, escorted by 2 female agents. She looked smaller without the designer clothes and jewelry, just a scared 31-year-old facing prison. "They told me you have the evidence," she said, avoiding my eyes. "My father's entire operation." "I do." She finally looked at me. "I'm sorry, Alex. Not for the investigation, for making you love me when it was all a lie." The confession hung between us. 3 years of shared holidays, family dinners, whispered promises, all orchestrated by her father to groom a tech-savvy patsy. "My mother died when I was 12. Cancer. My father said the medical bills bankrupted us. He made me help with the family business. By the time I realized what it was, I was in too deep. Agent Thorne laid out the deal. Full immunity for both of us, witness protection, new identities, in exchange for testimony that would dismantle the Kensington Empire and its international connections. Your father will die in prison. You'll never see him again. You'll never see your old life again, but you'll be free." Chloe looked at me. "What do you want, Alex?" I thought of my parents, unaware their only son was a federal witness, my friends who'd think I'd disappeared, my startup employees who'd lose their jobs. But I also thought of the darknet fentanyl that had killed 400 people last year, money my unwitting laundering had helped clean. "Let's end this," I said. Chloe nodded, signed the agreement. I signed beside her. 2 people who were supposed to marry each other, now bound by a different contract, mutual survival through mutual betrayal of her family. The takedown happened at dawn. FBI teams simultaneously raided 27 properties across 3 states. Robert Kensington was arrested at his Bel Air mansion, screaming about lawyer bills and political connections that never materialized. My startup was shut down as a money laundering front. The employees were given severance from seized Kensington assets. The news reported it as another Silicon Valley fraud story, the brilliant coder who built a criminal empire. My parents were told I was entering a federal witness protection program for my own safety. They wouldn't know where I was, couldn't contact me. The last time I saw my mother, she hugged me so tight I thought she'd never let go. Chloe and I were separated. Different safe houses, different identities being constructed. We'd never see each other again after the trial. The trial lasted 6 weeks. We testified via video feed, faces obscured, voices altered. Robert Kensington was convicted on 84 counts: racketeering, money laundering, wire fraud, conspiracy. Sentence: 47 years without parole. Chloe's testimony sealed it. She detailed how her father had used her as bait for 3 previous men before me, all tech entrepreneurs, all unknowingly used to launder money until they became liabilities and were framed for crimes. I was the 4th, the first to catch them live on camera. After the verdict, Agent Thorne gave me my new documents: birth certificate, social security card, passport, driver's license, a new name, a new history, a bachelor's degree from University of Washington instead of Stanford, a job as a systems analyst in Austin, Texas. "Start fresh," Thorne said. "The money you helped recover saved lives. Remember that." I looked at my reflection in the one-way mirror. Alexander Reed was gone. Someone else would board that flight to Texas. The man who watched his fiancée cheat live on camera was already becoming a memory. Austin, Texas. Population 964,000. No one knows me here. I work at a mid-sized tech company. I live in a modest apartment. I date cautiously.
I read every document before signing. Sometimes I see a Ring camera and remember that Thursday night, the notification, the live stream, the betrayal that unraveled a $200 million criminal empire. Chloe, or whatever her name is now, is out there too, somewhere in America, living with her own memories and regrets. What did I learn? That love can be weaponized, that trust can be monetized, that behind every fairy tale wedding might be a balance sheet you never see. Check the security cameras your partner installs. Question sudden wealth from mysterious family connections. Read the prenup, every clause. And if your gut says something's wrong, listen. Because my gut whispered for months. The unexplained business trips, the sudden interest in cryptocurrency, the wedding planner who asked too many questions about international banking. I ignored it. I was in love. Now I'm someone else, living a quieter life, watching sunsets over Texas hills instead of Silicon Valley startups. The FBI returned my laptop last month, wiped clean, of course, but in the hard drive's partition, I found one file they missed, the 17-minute recording from that night. I deleted it immediately. Some memories don't need preserving, but the lesson does. In the digital age, betrayal doesn't just happen in hotel rooms. It happens in blockchain ledgers, in encrypted messages, in security camera feeds. And sometimes the person who breaks your heart is just following a script written by someone who wanted to break the law. Stay vigilant, stay skeptical, and always, always read the terms of service for your security cameras, your relationships, and your life. This has been an anonymous confession, AI narrated, but based on real patterns of financial crime and emotional manipulation, shared so you might recognize the signs I missed. Subscribe for more truths from the shadows. This is Reddit Sting Stories. Good night.
This story, while dramatized, reflects real patterns of financial crime using relationships as cover. If something in your relationship feels financially suspicious, sudden wealth, pressure to sign documents, unusual business interests, consult a forensic accountant before a therapist. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily stories that blend emotional truth with real-world caution. Your awareness could prevent your story from becoming our next episode. Remember, love shouldn't come with a balance sheet, and trust shouldn't require a background check. Stay safe, stay skeptical.